You can support this podcast and get shows early and ad-free, as well as bonus episodes over at patreon.com/flashback64.
Hi, this is Ken Griffey Jr. Let's play Major League Baseball.
And welcome to Flashback 64, the chronological Nintendo 64 timeline podcast. We're discussing the Nintendo 64 timeline. It gets a little tricky with Ocarina of Time. I'm Gooey, joined by McKenna. Hey, McKenna. And we're back at bat. We're returning to now. Yeah, we didn't have baseball for years on the podcast, and now we're living it. We're in the baseball zone.
In our baseball era.
Yeah, football, that's old news. Don't care anymore. Soccer, it's out. And we have the perfect guest today to talk baseball with us. Returning to this show is our good pal, Abby. How's it going, Abby?
Hi, I'm doing well. Very happy to be here. Giant baseball nerd, so this totally suits me. I'm happy to be here. I've never played this game until the pod, so I was totally happy to hop into it, play some games with my friends, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You've been on the show before. We ask like, what's your background with the console or whatever, but I guess that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what's your history, your backstory with baseball? Like, I know you play as well, right? But you're also like a big fan, so give us your story a little bit.
On the cam, you can see a Mew with a New York Yankees hat behind me. I was born in the 90s, so I was lucky enough to have family to make me a Yankees fan at the time when they were the best team ever. I started playing T-ball even before the Yankees won their first championship. I started T-ball at like 4, and then I played about 18 seasons in about 10 years, which meant I was playing spring, summer, fall, and then like a winter batting cage league a couple of years too. Travel teams, all-star rec, stuff like that.
Wow.
But yeah, I ended up stopping freshman year because I'm a trans woman. It wasn't exactly the best locker room at the time. So as an adult, I've picked up softball, having a great time, doing very well. So yeah, I still love baseball, still follow the Yankees, and yeah, it's near and dear to my heart.
Okay, well, so you said it was like a family thing. Were they from New York, or like what was the...
Oh, yeah.
Or was it just like, oh, they're the best team?
Okay, a little bit of that, because the old stadium in Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Dodgers was like 6 blocks away from my grandfather's TV repair shop. So it's always been like very close knit. In New York for years, there were 2 teams. And then there was one, and so then my mom became a Yankees fan. And when she moved away, she never stopped really liking them. And then they became really good in the 90s. And when you had 2 little kids, and there was a very cheap place to go up in Cleveland at Jacobs Field, the Jacobs Field in the game, not the new one. It was a great time because it's something you could do. It's America's pastime. And easy to pass along. And God, the 90s was a great time to watch baseball.
Yeah, I was fairly young, and like I had we've talked about this before, so I'll try to spare people of the story again and again. But when I was really young, and it was like, oh, like everyone just like sports, it's cool. Your parents kind of indoctrinate you, and then I had that thing where just at some point I stopped caring, and I got more into like whatever like nerdy stuff I was into. I didn't maintain my love there, but I was like, I was really young enough to like be excited about when in 1998, like I'm from Illinois as well, like, and my family are Cubs fans, so like the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire home run rivalry, like the buzz from that was like really exciting, and I remember thinking like that was really cool as a kid. But then not many years later, I kind of lost my interest in that. I have said it before too, but I played a little bit as a kid, and I think I was just so unathletic and bad, and it made me frustrated, and I gave up. And much like the last baseball game we played, it brought back some of those harsh memories of just not being like I was almost afraid of baseball, like, oh, I'm gonna get hit by the ball, like it's coming at me. And I actually got hit by a pitch when I was young, and it like forever I was like, I'm done. And now when I play these games, I get like freaked out still by the virtual pitch coming at me. I'm like, ah. it's like scarier than some parts of Resident Evil Requiem for me. So
I totally get it. A lot of people still have like trauma from when they're kids, and they flinch to this day in the adult league that I play in. But I got an award from my fall league team, the fall select team, for getting hit by pitch a dozen times.
Wow, what a badge of honor. Yeah.
Well, if you hug the plate and you look a little queer with it. I got flunked maybe a little bit more than the average kid would, but I got on base. That's what they say. You got to get on base.
I was trying to have that happen in both the baseball games we've played, like actually have a player get hit with a pitch, but is it? I mean, I guess it's more a game talk, but is that even possible? Can it happen in this game? I'm guessing no.
I tried.
Okay.
I threw curveballs at the feet. I threw 106 miles per hour at the head, which is just incredible. But luckily the game avoided that as far as I could tell. And I could not plunk players nor get hit on purpose by hugging the plate as much as possible.
There probably is or something, and I'm not that familiar with, but why isn't there? There should be like a MLB blitz where you're like charge the mound and pile drive the outfielder or whatever.
I'm not. There's been enough baseball games. I'm sure it exists. I'm not privy to it. Though I will say there are plenty of simulation games where you can go ahead and get into plunking wars.
That I would love
intentionally
to see
injure other players.
That sounds awesome. Okay, yeah, that would have put this game even further like over the edge. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, we'll have to talk about. We'll get into the game for sure. But McKenna, also, I think we talked about before, not necessarily your favorite sport as well. So we're glad to have Abby here to kind of fill in the gaps for us.
Yeah, I'd play. Well, I did this with like a ton of sports where we just play. Not a real full kind of game, but we'd play baseball. We'd use a tennis ball. I think more for because we were in a court, and it would have been really easy for us to break something if we had used a baseball.
Sure, I think even with a tennis ball, it could happen.
Yeah. I don't think any of us were hitting too hard, but.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think any of us, except for my brother, would occasionally play with us, and I think he was the only one who actually played on a team.
Baseball's great. You can just pick it up like that. It's a sandlot game. Stick and ball games are still like one of the most common games in the world. Doing that is just as legit as playing it officially. The only difference is you're paying for an ump.
I like DIY baseball.
Yeah.
I like base. I've kind of grown, in my adult life, like, and having attended different sporting events, like grown a fondness for them, even though I don't follow them, and especially with like stuff happening, like I was living in Chicago during the World Series when they won, and it was, that was fun, and or just like, the it's infectious a little bit, and I think baseball is one sport that I do like to go to. I haven't gone to many games, but I've always had fun. Let's get into it. Let's first, before we talk about the game, let's do the flashback segment. Let you know what was going on at the time of this game's release. It's May 25th, 1998. This is actually like, I think it's a day or two before the release of All-Star Baseball 99. So these kind of came out like basically the same week. They'd have been in stores. And we talked about it a little bit too early. I had the wrong date. So we'll have to we're going to talk about that, I'm sure. Like just the, similar to how we did with Madden and NFL Quarterback Club. Like what were your options this weekend in 1998, where the song Too Close by Next has returned to number one for its final week. It's actually the number one single of 1998 on the Billboard charts, and it stays on the top 100 charts until February 1999, where it last was at 50. So powerhouse of a single. We're saying goodbye to it. Abby, do you have any memories or thoughts on Too Close by Next? Any last words?
I have heard the segment that has been memed to death, and turned into the "Why You Always Lying" song on YouTube.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Which is probably, it might be its bigger legacy. I think more people now are familiar with Why You Always Lying.
I think you might be right,
the YouTube meme, than the song itself, because I listened to like 90s stations and 90s hip hop stations and such, and like 80s 90s R&B. I haven't heard this song recently, but I have heard the meme. So it's a classic.
I totally buy, like, I don't like listen to the radio much, but like it feels like a song that you could, like, it's that type of song where like that could be in a lot of like a nostalgic retail playlist that you hear. But I don't think I hear this very much. I don't know if is it because it's about getting a boner? Because I feel like if you're hearing that when you're shopping, you can't actually hear the words that well. I don't think you'd be able to unless you already knew. So I feel like it's not like, I don't know. It's a song, I heard it all the time on the radio as a kid. I loved it. And then, I think I just don't encounter this song anymore, which is just wild because it was like the top hit of 1998.
Many songs are about sex or drugs or violence or breakups or all those sorts of things. So recently when Semi-Charmed Life was on, I was like, the song about doing meth and having sex. And it's still on the radio all the time. It's played in grocery stores and at stadiums, and
that's another absolute classic from that era, this era too. So I don't know. A lot of people are like, I don't know what the hell that guy's saying in the song, so they get away with it. Okay, number one album. It's still the Limited Series by Garth Brooks. So there you go. It's on the charts until, again, February 99. I mean, Garth Brooks, massive in the night. Did you have a country era, Abby?
My country era is like the classics. Like specifically going into like the era of country that was about hating the government and being upset that the economy sucks or that
the cool stuff.
It's
really
difficult to farm. Yeah, I'll listen to the cool stuff. That's about it, though.
Well, farewell. I'm sure Garth Brooks will. I don't know. I have some nostalgia over Garth Brooks. Not that I think his music's really great or anything, but
they are catchy.
Number one movie at the time. Oh, this is a big one for me. Godzilla.
Science cannot explain him.
We're looking at the dawn of a new species.
Technology cannot stop him.
The heat seekers can't lock, sir.
But unless we outthink him,
we believe it may be hiding inside one of the buildings,
but you don't know for sure. We won't survive him.
We need bigger guns.
Rated PG-13. Special first showings May 19th.
Highest opening weekend of 1998. You haven't seen it yet, McKenna, right? But you are a Godzilla fan. We are going to talk about this on some supplemental material on the Patreon, at least. So, yeah, Abby, what do you remember about Godzilla? The American Godzilla, 1998.
I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
I also remember, slowly it dawning upon me after I saw it a little bit older. This movie isn't that good. It's fun. It is a Godzilla movie. I'll give them that much. But it hits a lot. We got spoiled recently with Godzilla -0 and the recent stuff, and I'm so happy about that. And I after watching the 98 film, I saw the original. It's not as good as that, but it is a Godzilla movie. It is not a bad American Godzilla movie. Probably the best American Godzilla movie, but I prefer the Japanese ones, especially the new ones that are coming out really good right now.
I'm sure you would probably agree with that. You haven't even seen it. I definitely agree with that sentiment as well. But yeah, I think I have just a nostalgia for the movie for sure. But I have rewatched it and been okay, this kind of is dumb, but that almost made it fun as well. I just kind of like this cheesy 90s version of it. So
the definition of a popcorn film, you go there, you eat popcorn, you enjoy it. It is the cinema experience. It is not the film.
Are we ready to say goodbye to 1997? Are you ready, New York City? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
'98, the year of Godzilla.
Last thing, video games that released at the time. On the Saturn, you had a game called Baroque, which I don't know what that is, and I didn't look into it.
The art style?
Yeah, maybe that's what... I'm guessing... I don't know. That's a sick name, though, for a game. But I'm choosing not to look into it, but someone who I'm hoping there's someone out there who's oh, hell yeah, and tells me what it is. On PC, you had Unreal.
There's so many shooters at the time that are Space-y and Ancient Aliens-y, and this is Unreal was that thing in my brain. I never played the whole thing. I've played Unreal Tournaments God knows how many times, but the one to start it all is usually just fine. Especially going back now, I'm sure at the time, if I was handed it and told this is the game you're playing now, I would have been having a great time. But going back to it, it is just another one, which is a bummer because I know there's almost certainly some Unreal shooters out there.
That's one that this era of PC shooters, when they really popped off, was something that I kind of mostly missed out on. I only briefly encountered actually at the time. But I think a great thing about the show is I've kind of been coming to appreciate and really enjoy those types of games more. So I don't know. Maybe there's a chance I check this game out, even just really for the curiosity. But I really know just I just know the impact of it really more so than the engine.
The modern gaming landscape is completely different without Unreal not being just another Quake 2 engine game. The fact that they went ahead and did their own stuff built Epic into what it is now, and that's why we have like adventure games with weapon slots in them, even if there's no weapons in them, because that's what you did when you made Unreal.
Yeah. And I don't, who knows? Maybe we're not better off for it. Maybe we're better for it. Now's not the time.
Hello, we are Kirby Conversations, a podcast on Kirby, along with other adjacent subjects like Smash Brothers, HAL Laboratory, and other related Nintendo games.
In each episode, we take an in-depth, well-researched look at a Kirby topic, drawing on our decades of experience playing Kirby games, creating Kirby-related content, and working in and around the video game industry. I'm Sean Douglas. I'm a theater and video game journalist.
And my name's Bridget. I'm an online Kirby commentator and collector.
Our team also includes photographer and Nintendo ambassador Kai Captain Dangerous Parker and Gigi, the editor-in-chief of Wick Kirby. Join us for deep dives into Kirby's history, interviews with industry professionals, and even inside looks at Nintendo, as together we explore all things Kirby and HAL Laboratory. You can find Kirby Conversations on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Play ball!
Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. is the third Nintendo-published Ken Griffey Jr. baseball game. Up to 2 players can play in a one-off exhibition game or a best-of-7 World Series, and up to 4 players can take part in a season or home run derby. You can play a season with the real-life rosters or conduct your own draft. You can also trade players and sign free agents, as well as change your lineup and bullpen to customize your team and combat injuries and fatigue. Check the SportsWire service during a season to view the day's schedule and scores and to view player and team statistics. Choose between arcade or classic batting, opt in or out of auto fielding, and select a skill level to customize your gameplay experience. Grab your N64 controller and friends and step up to home plate in Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr.
This game was developed by Angel Studios, which is now known as Rockstar San Diego. They have actually kind of an interesting story. Abby, do you know much about like the history of Angel Studios?
No clue at all.
So
I didn't recognize the logo.
because it's literally now they started off like as doing like animation, and they also started to deal with like 3D animation, like doing commercials. They did commercials for Nintendo at some point too. They did the 3D animation in the movie The Lawnmower Man. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like a early 90s movie with Pierce Brosnan and like crazy 3D effects in it. They also did a Peter Gabriel music video, and they won a VMA for that. So that was kind of how their early success was in that. But then they worked with Silicon Graphics and did like tech demos, which led them to partnering with Nintendo. And they were announced as like when they were first promoting, I think it was called Ultra 64 at the time they were promoting it. But what was coming to N64, they were announced as like part of their dream team of developers that were going to be making games for this. And this is their first game for Nintendo on the Nintendo 64. We'll talk about them more later. They did that famous port of Resident Evil 2. Then they made the series Midtown Madness, which is a PC game. They got acquired by Rockstar, which led to the Midnight Club series, and then of course the Red Dead Redemption series. So crazy history here with the developers behind Major League Baseball with Ken Griffey Jr. featuring Ken Griffey Jr. Excuse me. So we're not playing around here. This is serious.
The game is beautiful. Like for an N64 game, this game looks sick.
That was like the first thing I was kind of comparing between All-Star Baseball 99 and Ken Griffey Jr. was like how, like, which one kind of has like the more like realism in the graphics, like who really like nailed that for the time. And I feel like All-Star Baseball 99, I think overall like looks, from a simulation perspective, it does look like closer to me like a real baseball broadcast you might see, consider it for a 1998 game. But this one still looks really cool, and I think it makes up for it, or it like presents a different thing. It has more of a fun aesthetic to it, like a little less serious, little even in the gameplay. But I also think like the visual aesthetic and the vibe of the game. McKenna, did you feel that way?
Pretty much. I think they both look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I do think All-Star looks a little more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But this one still looks really good, I think. The stadiums look good in both. The players look good in both.
I think the animations look pretty cool. Like the characters are pretty expressive, especially Abby, when we were talking about like trying to throw pitches at them and the way they like go like, oh, and like get out of the way. It's very fun. Like it has a fun feeling to it.
It is definitely more arcadey than Simi, which is important because it will never be a very good baseball arcade game that's like baseball simulation. Like you could do PGA, the Golden Tee or what have you with the giant trackball. Those were all the rage at the time.
Oh yeah.
But you got to go to like the Robot Super Baseball 2020 or whatever, or 3000, I forget what it is exactly, to do like a fun baseball sim, because just doing it normally isn't quite there. This game could be slapped in arcades, and this game moves. I love the fact that this game is on a cartridge, because you can get in and out of gameplay and in between pitches so quickly.
It's nice, like it lets you just kind of like skip through things, which I feel like, I don't know if you could or couldn't do that in All-Star Baseball, but it did feel like a much bigger commitment to like sit down and play that game. Whereas I felt like this game you could play a baseball game in I don't know, like 20 minutes or something, like if you really mash through it. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's something like pretty quick.
So a few things about it not being completely realistic. The catcher doesn't have to throw the ball back to the pitcher. It's done off screen.
Like the pitcher
magically recovers the ball. So this means that you throw a pitch, and in 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds, you could be throwing another pitch. You're actually slowed down significantly by the computer pitching. So if you have two people going up against each other, you can get in and out of a game in like maybe 15 minutes, 20 max, and it zips right along. This game is also, I was surprised with some of the aspects about this game. So when you're pitching, you get up to 4 pitches. I think everybody gets 4 pitches, which is wild because not everybody has 4 pitches. There are some starters now with 2. Like one of the Cubs starters right now, Justin Steele, he's just now learning a 3rd pitch, and he's in like his second or third major league season, and he's a starter, which is would have been unheard of. Mariano Rivera for the Yankees, who's in the game, was like legendary for only throwing a cut fastball. And yeah, it's very funny, especially because this game also, the arcadey aspects, you can only change so much. So when you're lining up a pitch, you have either the strike zone displayed or not. That's one of the toggles. And then you click an area where you want to pitch it. and then you can adjust it as the pitch is being thrown. So you can put it outside the strike zone and bring it back in. You put it in the strike zone, bring it back out, up and down, left and right, etc. The batter, based upon how good of a hitter they are, they have a yellow dotted ring, which is sometimes huge. Like if you have Jay Buhner, who's like an on-base power machine for the Mariners, Ken Griffey Jr.'s Mariners.
Like super small, right? His is...
No, his is huge. It's huge.
Oh, okay.
And then you get the like slap hitter, short, well, not A-Rod, the slap hitter, like left fielder who's pretty pathetic on their team, and it's like you're trying to hit a dime. It's incredibly difficult. Also, as the pitchers get more tired, they the indicator of where the ball is going on the screen flashes faster. So initially it's pulse on, and then it fades, and then you can't see it, and so you can start pitching with it being invisible. So the batter then has to like throw their thumb around trying to find where that reticle's going. But as they get more and more tired, it just flashes faster and faster and makes it easier for somebody to figure out exactly where it's going. And once you know where it's going, that's when you can line them up.
That batting mechanic was really interesting to me. I don't know if you could tell us like how unique that is, because like I haven't played a game quite like that. Like I found that like compared to the other ones, very like I know McKenna, we were talking about this earlier. Like is a little tricky to initially bat with that style of batting where you have to like line the reticule up, and it could change with the pitch, especially for me not knowing baseball, like understanding like, oh, this is that kind of pitch, so it might like move this way or anything like that. I don't know, how'd you find the batting?
I mean I did try both. I definitely found the arcade batting harder to figure out. I was reading in Nintendo Power that it is more challenging to start out with, but like once you figure it out, you can be more like consistent with it. I think you can do probably much better than classic, but for starting out, I found it was much easier to go with the classic batting. I was hitting much more often.
Yeah, having to both aim and swing at the right time, like the timing of that is really tricky.
Just figuring out like the timing was like a challenge enough for me.
Yeah. That's the moment that really brought me back to like the frustration I had. There's just something about it where like I struggle with it initially. I usually, can get into it, and that's how you get better, I guess. But those early moments of like just trying to hit the ball and missing is so like, it's so like frustrating, and like, why can't I be better at this? Like, what's wrong with me? Yeah. So taking out one of the factors makes it a little bit better.
I kept having instances where I want to swing too early. Yeah. And then I'd be like, all right, just like relax a little on the next throw. And then the next throw would be like 100 miles per hour. It would just fly fast.
Okay. About that, let's talk a little bit about the realism on this. So you have like some legendary hard throwers in this game, like Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, who would regularly pip 100 on, or could pip as much as 100 on radar guns, and then they would you could throw them a curveball or like a changeup, and it would be going 67. So that's like a difference of 30 miles an hour. In real life, if that happens to you, you are sitting down and sad and crying like, oh my God, you are feeling terrible. In real life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That was something I didn't know, like, oh, is that like a strategy? Like pitch it that like just for a video game, right? That probably is why. Like it trips you up more. It's like for that for me made it really challenging. Whereas like, yeah, a professional baseball player, that might actually be like a weakness to do.
So in this time frame, we have knuckleballers that are not too uncommon. There's a couple at the time. And the thing about knuckleballers is they don't put any spin on the ball. So you can't grab the ball like with your whole hand, because if you just grab the ball with your whole hand and throw, it'll spin. So you have to grab it with your knuckles and have your teeth bite in and then spit it away. So with your fingers, it's like you're trying to dust a countertop with flour, or like throw water on someone, flick it off your fingers. It's really tough. Imagine doing that at 70 miles an hour. Pretty tough. There's a player who could do it at like 85 now. It is absurd. Kenny Serwa, by the way. Yeah, he's going to be really exciting for the Padres, by the way. San Diego, I think. We'll find out. The point being is that like it is there. The whole point of throwing that repeatedly is that you can't tell where it's going because there's no spin on the ball. The force imparted on it is mostly like wind and humidity based. If the weather's too bad, the Red Sox at the time would just push a Tim Wakefield start because the weather wasn't good enough so he could get a grip on the ball. They only threw the ball at like 60, 70 miles an hour. Their fastballs would be 80. And that is devastating. 20 miles per hour faster than what you're expecting. And with 480i graphics, it is tough to see what's coming out of the hand of the pitcher. Doesn't matter what animation you're doing, you're not getting a tell on what the pitcher's throwing if they're going to like choosing to grip the ball differently, to throw a curveball. You can see that in their forearm sometimes. A fastball, maybe they're like juiced up for it. It's tough. Batting in this game is brutal because in real life you will never see 106 and then 67, but you could do that with David Cone, the ace for the Yankees, all day, which is absurd. It's so tough.
That's what I appreciate. They have the classic in there because I think it does make that factor in a little bit less. And I will say it was only briefly, and then I lost it. But there was a moment where I was getting the hang of that batting style and like actually getting some good hits and some home runs, and it felt incredible. Like it really felt cool. And I started to appreciate, like, even if it was hard to tell what the pitches were, like that mechanic where, like, even as a pitcher, you don't have full control over exactly where you're going to pitch it, because you're also, the reticule disappearing made it a little bit trickier for me to like actually throw it where I wanted to throw it. And so, and then I thought on the flip side, the batter having to kind of like not just know exactly where it's going to go, but have an idea. Like it added just enough, like, not randomness, but like an unknown factor on both sides that made it feel more like, I don't know, you actually have to react. And it didn't feel as much of like ball here, swing here. And I thought that was an interesting way to adapt it. I don't know if that's common. Like, I haven't played a lot of baseball games. I imagine you have some history with baseball games. So like, how does this compare with just the genre in general, I guess?
This is what we experienced was basically the more common version of what we have now.
Okay.
At this point, you will never see the pitcher's reticle though, which is a thing that so it's just changing where the difficulty is. But this is basically as tough as batting will get most of the time, which is good. I think this is like an appropriate level of difficulty where you can make it just the classic version. If you played Persona 5, this is the batting cages. This is the exact same mechanic as the batting cages. You basically see where the ball's going. You know it's going to be one speed. You move you move the analog stick, and then you swing when it's lined up and when the ball's coming. It does require following the ball, following the reticle, and timing it up, which are 3 separate skills all at once. That's sort of similar to what was later done in the aughts on like Triple Play or All-Star Baseball. And it's basically all different versions of that.
Okay.
For like golf games, you've probably seen you click it on the downswing, you click it on the upswing, and then you click it on the downswing again.
Yeah.
Right? To line it up time it and get the right amount of power in it. And with this, it feels a little bit similar, like it's all the same sort of thing where you're trying to hit multiple things. And I think it's difficult. It's also reasonable to what we have now. The thing is, we don't have pitchers that can. In modern games, the ball won't go exactly where you place it. With this, it doesn't matter how tired your pitcher is; it's going where you place it, which is absurd.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is very. The ball is basically almost completely accurate, and in modern games, fatigue is so much more big of a deal. Like I had pitchers, going into the 8th inning, and they were just only tired. Nowadays, that's almost never happening. So, it's similar in terms of difficulty, but slightly different in terms of execution compared to other baseball games. But still, like, it's tough. It's not easy, but I think it's a rewarding method of trying to hit the ball. I do have to say, very tough to execute a hit and run in this game. Imagine, so you're lining it up with your thumbstick on analog, and then you have to tap the C button like 4 times to get your runner to go. Before you hit, and then you have to hit it like perfectly at the right time. And there's executing a hit and run in this game is tough.
I imagine there's some real sickos out there though who've got like the exact right hand placement to do that perfectly.
I was on the claw grip to go and do the double hit and run because I had like 2 outs. I was like, just go. It's 2 strikes, 3 balls. If I make contact, I want to get these runners in, and so I'm just smashing the buttons to have the runners advance as I'm like trying to line up the hit. I struck out.
Yeah, that was the thing, is like I would struggle with like, okay, I followed the reticule. Now I gotta look for the timing of the pitch, but like also it might move. So like, where do my eyes need to be? What do I need to be looking at on the screen? Like that was what I really
things at the same time. You have to see the arc of the pitch to see if it, has a hump to it like a curveball, or if it's going straight at you like a fastball, but also the reticle.
And you have to like keep it. You have to hold it in place too, so that makes it a little tricky.
Did you only play the exhibition, or did you get into the home run derby?
Did do the home run derby. That was a lot of fun, and that was honestly just a great way to kind of like get. That's the first thing I did actually, because it was like, well, we played a game against each other first, but then when I went back to it, I went to the home run derby because obviously, one, it's just fun to hit the ball. Like I would play a baseball video game that was only the hitting the ball part of it. So that was kind of like a good, practice. I like the home run derby. Did you do much home run derby?
No, I didn't do any of the home run derby.
You witnessed it,
I did.
You got the idea.
I think I just I thought about it, and then I was like, I kind of just like playing outfield better.
It is super fun.
That's me at 8 years old.
Fielding in this game is pretty fun. I had a little bit of frustration because you can't select the fielder you're running to. You're running with, rather.
Yeah.
Sometimes a weakly hit ball to the second base person would easily get past the pitcher. But if the second base person was charging, it would have been an easy out, but instead it's like an infield single just because I couldn't control the second base player.
Yeah. I have that often where it would be going between like say first and second base, and the way when I see the hit, I think, I'm going to be the second base person, but instead I'm the other person and I'm just running the wrong direction entirely. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Any balls between fielders up the middle, or sometimes in the outfield even, it'll be a little tough. You won't see the ball in arc. You'll sort of be able to judge it based off of like the camera angle and sound effects. Pop flies sound different than like line drives, and it's not easy. I do have to say the lack of like immediate animation. You just have to get your player to where it's landing. You can dive, you can jump, and those are fun. But the fact that you can't control immediately, you can't like cycle players to like closest versus next closest, because just because a ball's hit to, you know, in between third and short, and it's slightly closer to short, I still want my third base to run across and then throw to first, because there's less turning animation involved. In real life, you know, you want the player whose momentum's going through to take it to first.
Okay.
And so, yeah,
real physics.
A little bit. This game's pretty cool. One of the coolest things when you're fielding is when it's a really high pop up and you get your player there early. It'll put the camera behind the player.
Yes,
and you'll just see him come straight in, which is great until you can't. Then you're looking at the base runners on the little display because you can't see them, right?
Yes.
To see whether or not they're going on a tag up, which is. Yeah,
that's what this game has. Some of those nice. You like that
nice camera angles.
Yeah, there was. You mentioned like their celebrations. One of my favorite animation in the game is when you get someone hits a home run on you, and the fireworks are going off, and it cuts to one of your players like with their head down, with the fireworks going off in the background. Like that adds so much. That's like I don't even feel bad about it.
My little puppy has various needs, including needing to go outside on occasion. So I paused it, walked, came back, and they were doing the Mario sleeping, just relaxing animation where they're just like sitting down, put the bat down, and then everybody came back up and woke up. That's really cute.
Wow.
That's that that little extra, like where it's like it knows it's a video game a little bit, I guess.
Another fun thing is in exhibition mode you can explore the stadiums. Did you end up getting? You end up looking around? Okay, so Z and R they don't have the instructions on how to explore the stadium in the game manual. But you can use Z and R to like move in and out, and then your C stick up is moving upwards, and then down is downwards, and left right is turn. Actually, it's not turn. It's left, strafe right, and then you're looking with your analog stick. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm ready to play a shooter now.
Oh my god! Yeah.
But it was you know, you're just talking the rise of the 6-axis shooter. I'm like, you just gave me all the controls. I'm ready.
MLB Forsaken, yeah,
MLB Forsaken. So the funny thing is, this is made in '98, released in '98. So the last season that happened was '97, where the Cleveland baseball team, with a different name at the time, lost to the Florida Marlins, who were an expansion team, and their stadium wasn't built yet.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah. For the first 5 years, I think they're playing at like a college stadium or something else. So if you go check out that stadium, it is like gray dome. It's not like the other. It's not like the other stadiums where you can see all the like proper displays and everything. The Arizona Diamondback Stadium, which is now Chase Field, which is used commonly for like the World Baseball Classic and such, which is about to happen now, by the way. Sorry to time date the thing, but check out the World Baseball Classic. The baseball season should be starting up right now. God, I'm so excited. That stadium is basically perfect. It looks just like it is, or just like it was at the time. And the Marlins Stadium, they don't even have the fish statue up. There's a bunch of little details that are all in the other stadiums, like the Yankee Stadium frieze or facade, the little overhang arch patterns. That's only along the outfield, which is a little weird because it should also be along the rest of it at the top.
They run out of polygons.
I think they ran out of polygons, but let me tell you, it still looks pretty darn good. You don't get like fully animated fans in the stands and stuff. You don't get like people models for it really, but you do have very well drawn stadiums, which is great. Especially they they put in a stadium that isn't made yet, which is wonderful.
I would have had no idea, so I'm glad you brought that to the table. I know you were commenting on one of the stadiums before we came here, right?
Yeah, I don't even know which one it was. I was just like looking through and I was like, this one's nice. It's like blue, and if I play at night, like it kind of just looks like everyone in the stands is like the night sky with the people against the blue background.
Yeah, I think this game like does a lot with, it clearly like they had limited the technology is still kind of limited, but I think they made it look really cool and like fun and like let you look at it up close.
In this era, you're not going to get fully animated everything all the time forever. You don't get like you don't get to see the ball go into the catcher's mitt or like the outfielder's gloves. And the game isn't made better by seeing the leather flex when the ball hits it. Like,
yeah,
that doesn't make the gameplay any better. We're not that far away from basically the same gameplay we have now, and this gameplay is difficult in a way that's also still baseball. So if I were to introduce anyone to baseball and I had this as an option, it totally works. It's good.
You said you were showing some people last night, right? Like what was their reaction to it like in 2026?
Well, I have a couple of my closest friends, and they're also learning to pitch in softball, which is harder than it seems. So I went ahead and popped in and did a home run derby with one of them, and then played a game with another. We only played like 4 or 5 innings, and they thought it was very fun. Like, it's tough to hit and comically easy to pitch, especially if you have any knowledge of like how tough it is to like adjust to certain things. Back in the day, people would throw fastballs like 75% of the time. Now, like, fastballs are thrown like 60% of the time, or 50 even for some, which is absurd when you consider like that's your go-to, what you throw for strikes. Now people are throwing sliders for strikes, people are throwing curveballs for strikes, and it was devastating trying to play and hit off of her compared to the computer, even on the medium difficulty mode. Was it rookie, all-star, or veteran, and the all-star veteran, right?
Sounds right.
So they agreed. Both of them agreed, like, it's tough but fair, and if you know what you're doing, it's really tough. Like, I can imagine, like, if all I had was this, it would be absolutely I would be able to cook up some absolute nonsense with this. I do have to say, you need a good control stick with this. If you're thinking of emulating this game to try and like enjoy what it was in the past, make sure you're putting an analog stick on there, because you are not playing without an analog stick. It is so much tougher. So yeah,
you really have to hold it in place, like, and yeah, that can be tough for sure. I like that. It seems to be the consensus, and I feel like that's kind of what makes this game cool, is that it can be tough, but I feel like it's like accessible to like a non-baseball audience. Like I feel like we both had a lot of fun with this, even though it also kind of kicked our ass a lot.
Mm-hmm. Especially because I think you can start or stay on like auto fielding. Like use more like assisted settings while you figure it out, and then you
I did do that too. I would like wean myself off each of those things until like, okay, let's try the like all, you got to take control of everything. It's like training wheels.
And then I think he had this with All-Star, the C buttons mapping to the bases is like a really good use of those, and it makes
go in 64
sense.
controller. Yeah.
I did not look up the manual the first time I started playing this. I didn't need to because it was so intuitive. It just made sense. The moment I hopped in, I figured it out, and it was. By the way, the first time I was looking for the manual, I looked at the SNES game manual. Oh, that game has like beautiful cartoon illustrations, history of the game, yada yada yada. It's so much better than in terms of like art than the N64 one, but the N64 one totally works. It's okay.
McKenna actually appreciated an aspect of it.
Yeah, like a third of it is like full page Ken Griffey Jr. photos.
It reminded me of the GoldenEye manual where there's just so many photo shoots 100%. Of Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Another great thing about the game is the season mode. You can do some nonsense with the season mode. Okay, so you can trade players with the season mode. And it's sort of frustrating. If you load into the season mode, you can choose like a 162 full season, a mid-season, or the pennant race, which is just the last month. If you go ahead and do that, it automatically turns off trades and stuff, but you can just turn it back on, which is wild because you could just like immediately start with most any team and just trade your way up. The game measures players based on fielders on 4 stats. It's like hitting, throwing, fielding, and like power as well. Batting, power, speed, and defense, and arm. And then pitchers only have speed, stamina, and control. And it's based out of 1 to 10. Normally, it's a 20 to 80 scale, with 50 being the middle percentile, and only like 1 or 2 players might be in the 80 range. So this was a little bit. It's accessible. It makes sense. But as somebody who's a giant baseball nerd, I was like, oh yeah, he's a 70 grade shortstop, but like he has a 40 grade bat, so he's only going to put up like 1.5 WAR, but it'll be like a for sure 1 WAR at least player.
So there's enough to dig into, like strategy wise, that it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. There's also no injury animations. I found that out while playing the season mode, but injuries are they won't even tell you what happened to the injury. They tell you like, hey, if injuries are on, you need to check the sports wire and then injuries news specifically, and then you have to scroll through all the injuries to get to your busted pitcher with a sore arm.
Coach would have to do it, you know.
Well, another important element is you can't trade players out of position, which is tough. Okay. Because back in the day, it was 10 pitchers on a roster, 5 starters who were expected to go like 8-9 innings every time, and then 5 relievers. Now it's 13. You get 3 more pitchers on a roster, and because we went from 25 to 26 people rosters since the 90s. You can turn on DH for the NL, which isn't realistic, but a good thing because pitchers have a hard enough job as it is. You don't need to see them strike out, every single time they go up or try and bunt very poorly. What else is in there?
In the season mode, you mean?
Yeah. Well, you could just do that. You could do that anyways. There's a World Series specific one as well. Wow. And you could just turn on the DH for both, for both teams, I believe. So, it's ahead of its time. Because the National League wouldn't get it for 2 more decades.
That's really cool. Like all the features there. That's again, I mentioned this on our last, basically all our sports games we've done, where only a few of them I've really like actually gotten into those modes, because it's all so much like to know when you're still even just trying to learn the game. And for this game, I played a handful of games, but each one was like trying you know, like we talked about with like the different easier modes to like take away some of those things and just get better at the game in general, to where I never was like, okay, I'm ready for a World Series or a season. So I didn't get into that as much. I know normally you like to like simulate that stuff, but I don't even think you really spent much time with that.
I don't think, well, actually I went into a season, but there was already one going, so I didn't think I could simulate. I didn't ruin your season.
Okay.
But I went in and I was like, I just hit play game and it just goes right into it. I think you just like already had a team selected. So.
I think I was just like, I just went into it to see like what it was like when you're setting it up, but I don't think I played or anything, because I was like, yeah, I have to. I'm going to stick with exhibition for now. Yeah, but it sounds like that's cool. Like I would never known, Abby, so I appreciate you bringing. Like it sounds like there's a lot going on there.
Enough to have fun. I would like to say, like, in '98, the team that won the World Series was the Yankees up against the Padres, and this was in the '90s. You could still get by with barely, if ever, working out as a professional baseball player. This is like a different era. This game's almost 30 years old now, and it really is like a product of its era, where it's like, oh yes, this player, the ratings are like sort of fake too, and you don't even see them until you're in the game. You can't just see the ratings of the players on like the screens for like the like trades or free agency, which is hilarious because like there's names that I recognize from baseball, like Jason Isringhausen was a free agent apparently, and you know he was a guy I remember. It's very funny to see like some players on different rosters from back in the day. This is definitely like they made it at the end of the '97 season.
And I think both this and All-Star Baseball were like trying to get out for the start.
Yeah, I read in the Nintendo Power article that like they based statistics on the '97 season, and then the roster is on early spring training.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can tell because like some players are benched that shouldn't be benched, some players aren't starting that would otherwise be starting, and also some of the players that I remember breaking out from like the first. I was like 5, when the season happened, and the first players I remember like, oh yes, this player's good, would not have the stats that reflected how good they were that season. It was a different era where like different things were valued. Not striking out was more important than getting walks, but striking out is just another way of getting out. And so like it doesn't. It is a game of its time, but it doesn't like prescribe exactly how you should build a team because it doesn't like automatically assemble a team or simulate stuff. Oh, that is another piece of it. I can't make the CP. You must play the game. You cannot make the game play itself. A key component of sports games for me is always can I turn it on, make the CPUs fight each other, and relax while I watch? You can't do that.
That's been your whole thing with
all
games.
of the sports games we've been playing. I've been doing that, but not this one.
I didn't even think about that because I usually just wait for you to do it. But
you can make the same team be its own opponent. I found that out by accident because I just pressed A too many times, and I was like, oh, I can make the Orioles play the Orioles.
That's cool.
I don't know if you can do that in
clone team.
Yeah.
I had no clue that you could do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do like in a lot of these sports games, there's something nice about the freedom actually of like loading up almost any FIFA, Madden, whatever. They all have the basketball games where you select the game, or even the game in the season you're playing. You could be playing as one team in a season, and then in this game be like, okay, we're gonna have 4 people play on this team, like human players, or like you can like throughout the games just like decide like I want to play this team now, I want to play this team now, I don't want to play any team. Player 3 is going to be on this team, or whatever, and I love that. In this, like once you commit to the game, like you're just kind of in that game in what you pick. But the fact that they're so quick and snappy, it's a little less like, oh, I'm stuck with this. But I do kind of miss that like just pop in, pop out sort of thing in this game.
Yeah, the fact that exhibition is pretty dang good really helps the fact that the season isn't, you can't change how many players are in a season. I didn't think you could, I think you'd have to swap memory packs. I didn't see any way to select which, if you can even save multiple games onto the same memory pack or not. So I think I can imagine there were some kids who got their seasons wiped by their friend not knowing, there are 152 games into the season at the pennant race, and trying to get there. But yeah, like it is a pretty solid game. I like it. It was fun.
This is something I usually up top, but you might have said like you hadn't played this game before, or do you have a history with this one? You had played All-Star Baseball 99.
I played Ken Griffey Jr. on the SNES before I played this.
So this is actually, it's the third Ken Griffey game. There were 2 on the SNES, so you played those. I imagine that's like quite a different game from this one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It turns out that when you go to 3D and get way faster processing speed, it turns into and an analog stick. How much did we talk about like how that matters when it comes to hitting and batting? You get enough buttons to go ahead and choose things like retreat all runners, or to send somebody to steal. You could move the camera. Oh god, this game is sick. Oh, okay, the reason the reason why this game is cool is because of how cool the camera is. You said that this company did mainly graphics for other companies and programs and such. The doing a Peter Gabriel video, but not Sledgehammer, by the way. I looked it up. It was Kiss the Frog. The Frog.
I feel like I don't know that song, but yeah.
I think I've heard it before. The interesting thing is the players are actually out there. They move in between plays realistically compared to where they just were. They move from the bench to taking the field. They go from the bench to the on-deck circle as the pitcher warms, and then the on-deck circle to the plate. If you are a pitcher and you want to check the runner, you hold Z and tap the C button, and the camera swivels around so that you get you get the peak, a third-person view peak. It's so cool. This game has a lot of charm. And you can set off fireworks when you're doing the exhibition view, or the looking around the park. When you're viewing ballparks, you can just tap Z and R together, and it'll set off the fireworks. It's fun. The game's sick. This is just a very competently done baseball game. I have very minor quibbles with it, specifically with regards to like not being able to let the game play itself, which isn't a real concern,
At least if it would be forgivable, or it's forgivable that because the game itself is actually fun. So if your biggest complaint is like I can't not play the game, like it's like I agree with you, but it's it does fall lower on the tier of things to be upset about.
It's good. It's good. The baseball's not easy, but it shouldn't be, and it's rewarding the better you get at it. It's a good baseball game. Thank you, Ken Griffey Jr. Great game.
Ken Griffey Jr. I want to mention with our All-Star Baseball 99 episode, our guest, Mark Normandin, I mentioned it then, but he has a great article about Nintendo's history with the Seattle Mariners and Ken Griffey Jr. as well. So I definitely recommend people go check that out. He makes a good case that, Ken Griffey Jr. should be added to Smash. Well, I think he just kind of throws it in there at the end. But if you read the article, I feel like you would understand that should be true.
It's a very good article. The Nintendo owned the Mariners for a period of time. This was Nintendo like dominating the world with Pokemon. Pokemon 30 announcements just happened IRL right now. It is the time for this to be happening. It's great time.
Because I feel like Yankees were kind of the rival of sort of like Ken Griffey, I think, viewed them as his rival. So what do you think about Ken Griffey Jr.? You played his
I have
game.
Nothing against Ken Griffey Jr. He hates the Yankees for a very good reason. There was a period of time when his dad, I believe, played for the Yankees, and the Yankees told Ken Griffey Sr. that his son should not be allowed in the dugout, in the clubhouse, as a distraction. Meanwhile, other players of a lighter skin tone had that without issue, including younger kids. So it was like not excusable. I have nothing against Ken Griffey Jr. I only feel bad for him because he had to play in turf stadiums for a year, the fake grass, and that tore up his knees, and he just was never right after his knees went out. So his entire post-Seattle career is just mired in injury stuff. But he's so cool. He's so many people's favorite player for a reason. Yeah, guy rocks. Great video games. What can I say?
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I don't know too many players, but I feel like he's just the one that I find the most charming. I don't know. How does Ken Griffey Jr. stack up to your favorite baseball players?
Well, I'm not too familiar with baseball players, but we watched a video series.
We watched the Secret Base history of the Seattle Mariners video.
Oh yeah,
and like a good chunk of that, he's the main character. Basically,
he's a real goofball,
as he should be. I mean, the Mariners were just they were just in the American League Championship Series last season, and they are pretty good. And I think they have a better chance of going to the World Series than the Yankees right now.
Well, I hope they can.
It would be like of a fan base that deserves it. That they definitely do. They also have a sick ballpark. I love the retractable roof stadiums.
Yeah,
those are all cool. Those should be the standard because most of the time in those you can have real grass, which I think is important for player health, but also because it's the American game. We can waste a little water on it. Yeah. This game's a ton of fun. The Yankees win the World Series the year this came out, and then in 98 in 98 and then 99 and then 2000. So this was basically a huge nostalgia trip for me. A ton of fun.
Great.
It's a good game.
And one final thing I want to say about Mr. Griffey is that his actual presence uplifts the vibe of this game. Like he does commentary during the games. The vibe of the game overall is very fun. Like the music, it's very it's kind of cheesy 90s, like upbeat baseball. There's like organ going. But I feel that it's very, even the menu being a baseball, it's very focused on like being like a fun presenting game. And I think you can turn it off, but I always have the Ken Griffey Jr. commentary on where he kind of will like emphasize certain plays or be like, oh, he really messed that up, or I don't know, something like that. Like it makes the game feel a little bit more fun. Like your pal Ken Griffey is there commenting on the game, like not through the whole game, but he's offering remarks when it's important.
Yeah, Ken Griffey is the character of the game, and they don't even max his stats out. By the way, he's like 3 10s and an 8, I think, or a 10, a 9, and an 8. Like, I can imagine, like, if they made Tom Brady football right now, Tom Brady would still put himself at like all 10s or whatever, 90 maxed out and such. But yeah, Ken Griffey's this game loves baseball. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not telling you anything other than baseball's cool. You should like it. It is fun. It presents itself as baseball, which is it is a time period in which baseball is like the most joyous thing in my life. So yeah, I love this. It's great.
I had read there was like a cheat code to enter when Griffey's up where he would hit a home run every time, but I tried it. I couldn't execute it. There are fun cheat codes in this game, but some are like very complicated to enter. So I could never tell if I did it right. You witnessed one.
Yeah, you were telling. Which one did you?
You remember? There's one you can do that's actually fairly simple that makes your batter explode.
Oh, yeah,
like violently.
you just strike out.
Yeah, and they keep pitching and you just can't swing because you're not there. You exploded. That was one I could do. There's more complicated ones you can do. Like there's one to get the players to like start flying, like their bodies go horizontal and they like flap like a bird animation.
I believe that's a reference to the film Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the Outfield, yeah. But again, that was too complicated. Same thing I had read. I tried it. It didn't seem too complicated, but maybe I just sucked at batting. Like I think you might have to connect, which I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I couldn't do the Ken Griffey Jr. home run cheat code. But whatever, it's fine.
You can abuse the AI. If you hold B to present a bunt, they will aim for your bat.
Oh,
and then because most of the time a bunt's a free out. Like it's better than even trying to get someone out most of the time. And then you can just let go of V and then smack a home run instead.
That is a great tip. Wow. I have to start executing that.
Wow. Yeah, you can you can like I did not check out the cheat codes, but I'm looking here on GameFAQs and it looks like you can call a home run with Griffey, which is what you said. You have to tap on the D-pad, pause, tap on the D-pad a bunch, and then he'll point to the outfield. And then if you hit the next pitch, it will be a home run. So you still got to make contact.
So I did something wrong, but you can also unlock they did this with the basketball. Was it this in Courtside where you can unlock like a team based on the developers of the game, which I think is a fun way to kind of insert that into the game. Which I think. So this is actually when you start the game up, you see the logo of like the Nintendo Sports. That's like a brand Nintendo is getting over. I think we've only seen it with NBA Courtside before. Oh, I don't remember if it was in the game, but they have a VHS tape we'll have to watch soon, like one of those Nintendo Power VHS tapes that was about the Nintendo Sports brand, and I think they talk about Courtside, 1080, and this game. So I don't know. I don't know how long they stuck with this Nintendo Sports thing, but the logo is cool. And I don't know. I'm interested to see where that
Apparently
goes.
You can unlock 2 teams actually.
Okay, one would be Angel Studios, right?
Yeah, probably. This is saying you can unlock 2 by smashing all C buttons together on the exhibition with the exhibition screen selected on the main menu. Also, alternative uniform colors. These are things that should just be told to you. It's not even in the manual. I should just be able to choose. Like this is the 90s when you had like the ridiculously teal and purple uniforms of like the Devil Rays and the Diamondbacks. Those were classics. The Drop Shadow like Mets logo, where it was like the blue with like the off orange behind it. You had some horrendous uniforms. This is why it was easy to be a Yankees fan back then, because you just occasionally would just see the most gaudy thing in the history of the world where I'm just like, why are you doing that? And the Yankees would still be in their boring pinstripes and road grays, and it was great. I loved it.
I can appreciate that from the timelessness of it. I don't know. It might just be because that's my product of my time, but I always love those tacky, ugly 90s uniforms in all sports from the time. There's definitely a nostalgic factor for me there.
Mm-hmm.
You can Super Mario 64, the baseball on the title screen, hold Z and then move the joystick. What? You can apparently you can watch the you can see it as though you won the World Series. That's a ton of cheat codes. I forgot. The 90s were sick.
I've had to make sure I at least try to look into them for every episode, because a lot, especially like with a lot of the games we've been playing, like they've actually really featured them. So try to make sure I don't miss that. We need, again, our plea to bring back cheat codes.
Yeah.
That's going to become an important message we're trying to get across. Any final thoughts about the game, McKenna? We'll obviously talk about it more when we like rank it, but compared to All-Star Baseball 99,
they both have good vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little better in All-Star. But this one might be more fun for me because it's more arcadey.
Yeah, I definitely think they both occupy like a slightly different lane, where it's like, obviously at the time, like, if I were someone at the time, I probably wouldn't be able to get both, but I feel like they both can serve a purpose. So hopefully people at the time could determine which one would suit their needs. I definitely know some people who this is their game. I didn't even mention this, but I have played this once before with a friend who this was his game, and we played it together, and he just was like destroying me because I had no history with it. And so, I don't know. He was one of those people who at the time found it. Abby, any final thoughts for you on this game?
Very fun baseball game. It felt like it celebrated baseball in the 90s in a way that was a lot of fun, with the home run derby, pretty fun seasonal mode, and then not taking like all the little things that I would appreciate in a simulation too seriously. So I think for like an N64 game that's not trying to be simmy, this is basically, it's very close to perfect. Great game, tons of fun, challenging, rewarding. Give it a go.
And thank you, Ken Griffey Jr.
Let me tell you something about heroes. They ain't like you and me. Look at Griffey. The way he taps the spikes and grows the tee, punches the glove and flips the lid, signs the hat, eats the dirt, and twirls the lumber, warms it up and works the crowd. The way he holds the pose, slams the wall, anticipates, and always thanks his mother. Let me tell you about guys like him. They ain't just playing stick.
This is Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. with Reality Bat for infinite swings. It's only on N64, only on Nintendo Sports.
Hey everyone, my name's Darren Hupke. I'm a writer, publisher, and podcaster. My podcast is called Pixels and Polygons. Each week I sit down with a guest and ask one simple video game question. It's a random topic each week and it leads to a fun conversation. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform every Friday, and you can read more about it at pixelsandpolygons.net.
We got a big game coming up for next time. We are talking about Quest 64. It's finally happening.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Let's go!
Really pumped to. Have you played that game, Abby?
I've never played it once.
Okay, well, I won't spoil it, but yeah, Abby, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've got you. We talked to you. We're gonna have you back on pretty soon as well. Really excited about that. But in the meantime, is there anything you want to promote or plug?
Baseball. Baseball's good.
Yeah, when does, you said what was starting soon? The episode might be out already. The World Baseball
Classic. The World Baseball Classic runs basically through spring training, so it'll end before this like April, and before the end of April. It is the international. It's like the Olympics for baseball. Every 3 years, they get every single nation gets their best players together, and whoever feels like playing for the Americans gets together. And but this last year it was a cinema ending where Shohei Ohtani struck out Mike Trout in 2023 to secure Samurai Japan the championship. And this time there's absolutely the best team ever for the Americans, and they want to win it again, which is good, because it turns out that when you get there's so many great baseball teams across the globe. We got like independent baseball leagues in Korea, Chinese Taipei, aka Taiwan. There's one starting up in mainland China now. There's obviously the NPB in Japan, which is like basically almost as good as Major League Baseball. There's the Australian Baseball League. The Italian League's one of the best in Europe. The German League's solid. Then there's the Honkball League in the Netherlands. You got the Dominican leagues. You got the Cuba League, the 2 Mexican leagues, the Panama League. There are so many. Baseball's a global game. It's wonderful. It's great. You should watch it, and pay attention. It is a very excellent time to be watching the game, because right now players are younger and better than they ever have been, and they're doing something very cool this upcoming season by actually having replay review for balls and strikes. Yeah,
interesting.
It's going to be it's going to be interesting to see, our catchers who can actually frame good now. They make a ball look like a strike. Can they deceive the batter too? Can they deceive the umpire and make a team waste one by adjusting a strike to be more of a strike, and then the batter thinks, oh, that wasn't in. There's a lot of baseballs.
I love this.
It's such a great time. As long as the owners don't mess up the union negotiations for this upcoming year, now's one of the best times to be getting into the game, because there's so many young, very good teams. And then there's also the Dodgers, who it's just like the Yankees of the 90s. Everyone's going to hate them, but they're spending money on the players, and they deserve it. And they're a very good team, and yeah.
You're
really
talking
good.
me in the door here, yeah. I think I mentioned on our last baseball episode, but I saw baseball in Japan. I saw like one of Ohtani's last games in Japan, and it did whip ass. So it's cool to see it, like that it is like worldwide, like there's like a buzz. That's exciting.
The Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was awesome.
I was lucky enough to, when I was in Japan, go see a game at Meiji Jingu, which is like literally the Emperor Stadium right from before the Second World War. There were riots when people tried to play professional ball there, because it was considered like holy ground. And it is so old that Babe Ruth played there. Babe Ruth has played in 4 major league quality stadiums still standing: Fenway, Wrigley, Meiji Jingu, and Hanshin, which is further south in Japan. But Hanshin Tigers play in Koshien Stadium, which is March Madness for high school Japanese baseball. And they literally kick out the professional team for 2 weeks.
That's 3 weeks? Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, it's basically the Olympics, or March Madness for high school baseball in Japan. There's a fall and a summer one, or spring one, and it is incredible. Baseball's great.
Massive
You should watch
plug.
baseball.
Big plug for baseball. Yeah, I'm close to, yeah.
I guess we gotta watch.
I guess we got to. Yeah, we've done it before for some of the sports we've covered, where it's like let's dip our toes in. So maybe baseball will be our next project. I can't commit, but maybe it will be. maybe.
In case you're wondering how big of a commitment it is, let it be known that it is extremely common among baseball fans to take a nap during the game. They call them baseball naps.
Well, that's cool. I can play Switch or whatever, like...
It is beautiful second screen radio content. You will often be able to actually listen to the games. I think you could get the radio app for like $3 a month or something, and you'll be able to listen to the games. And that's how baseball was enjoyed for years and years. It is.
I definitely have when I was a kid. Like my family would do that a lot, especially my grandpa, which makes a lot of sense. Grandpa style.
If you want to go watch games, go watch minor league games. Go watch a college team. If you don't have any of those around, high school baseball's still pretty cool. It's extremely cheaper to go watch a AAA team than a major league team, and it's a ton of fun. So
we used to go. There's a team near where I grew up in the Clinton Lumber Kings in Clinton, Iowa. I grew up near the border, and that I don't even know what level of team that would be, but that's like something my family would not like regularly go to, but that was an attraction. So if you live in northwestern Illinois or eastern Iowa, maybe check out the Clinton Lumber King. Is that a team, Abby? Does that sound like a real thing?
Wonderful news. You didn't hallucinate an entire baseball team. So they were a part. They got contracted. Actually, it's sort of a bummer. So they used to be a level team, which is basically the first or second step out of rookie ball. And after you draft high school or college age kids, they play in rookie ball. Then A level. Which A, AA, AAA majors. So there used to be basically 7 or 8 levels of minor league play. Now there's 5. So 5, but 4 like ones that actually play games really. So now they're in the Prospect League, which is a indie league, and Collegiate Summer Baseball League. Sorry. So summer. So when kids want to play more baseball during the summer, they go ahead and hop there. It's sort of similar to the level of play you'd see at the Savannah Bananas, but a lot less silly.
Yeah. So don't come there expecting pranks and fun stuff like that. But it could be fun.
They're community-oriented events. Also, that team is owned by the community. My local team as a child was owned by the county, so every time we got dime a dog nights, hot dogs for a dime at that stadium.
Whoa, that's sick.
That was going straight to the county coffers, and they are still very good. The Columbus Clippers. So
nice. Okay, shout out Columbus. Shout out Clinton. Wow. Okay. Big plug for baseball. It's out
baseball!
There. Otherwise, I guess we'll plug our stuff. Check us out at all our stuff's at flashback64.com. Other pods on the Soundstone Network. That's at soundstone.network. Plug to our Triforce tier patron Lee, also Master Clipper over on Twitch. And McKenna, plug to you. Good job.
Good job.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Nick McConnell, and you caught me reading the instruction booklet for Street Fighter II in preparation for my weekly stream Instruction Derby, where I take a look at the creative, fun, and sometimes bizarre lost art of video game manuals. Did you know that, according to the manual for Street Fighter II on the Super Nintendo, Ryu was born in 1964, making him 62 years young, canonically? Happy birthday, Ryu. You're looking great. Did you also know that, per the manual for Laser Invasion on the Nintendo, the UN enters a conclave in order to select a new commando? Or did you know that the dancing enemies in Super Castlevania are named Paula Abgul and Fred Askare? These important facts and many more are discovered every Wednesday at noon Pacific on Instruction Derby over at internet website twitch.tv/Nick McConnell, part of the Soundstone Network.